Happy Thursday. Doesn't even matter if you're having a good week. When we hit this kind of weather, when you wake up, it's in the 50s, it's a good day. So I know you're having a good day. Um, Let me talk about my commute in, and I won't spend a whole lot of time talking about it. When school's not in session, it's about a 15 to 17-minute drive. I just zip through all the clog points. Um, it's not too bad. But when school is in session, it doubles. It goes from about 15 to 17 minutes to almost 30 minutes. And so I have to fight this little bit of that gets inside of me. I'm kind of an aggressive driver. Janet will tell you that. It's just from driving a delivery truck for years and learning to drive in South Florida. So I am kind of an aggressive driver. I just want to get to where I'm going. And so I was on my way in yesterday, had made it through the clog points, um, and had just crossed Hogansville on Davis. I take a route in that I don't have to do a whole lot of thinking, don't have to do a lot of lane shifting, turning. I just kind of like follow the crowd along Davis. But man, it came to a standstill. And I couldn't see what was going on, but like it was backed up way further than it is on a normal morning. So I knew something was going on. Now, because of the way I drive and my personality, I usually don't handle those things real well. I don't lose it, but I can feel my frustration starting to rise because I was just stuck. I was just sitting there. And I could hear some honking going on ahead. Um, but I knew that in that moment, I had to like take control of my mood, my attitude, um, how I was going to kind of just take some deep breaths and kind of wind myself down, um, because I didn't want to come into work already like keyed up. Um, if you live in Lagrange when you watch this, you know the traffic is getting way worse. It's just the growth and there's just a lot more cars on the road, and so getting anywhere is a lot more difficult than it was even just a few years ago. And so being in that stuck place, I realized that there were some specific things that I could do that would kind of help me find some peace in the moment, to not get myself worked up. And it actually worked. Made it through. There was an accident on the right, the first train overpass. And I was fine when I came in. And I realized that even in the midst of something that I have no control over, when I find myself in a place that I hadn't done anything to get myself in that place, I still had some agency over how I would respond to it. And that's what we're going to talk about our last Sunday of our wilderness series, Surviving the Wilderness, is what do I do when I know I'm going to be in the wilderness for a while? I know there's an end. I might even be able to see the end, but what can I do specifically? What can I know in that moment to help me survive that last little bit of the wilderness? And we know some of the things. Like there are things that you still have to learn. The wilderness is not a period of time. It's a period of learning that you come out of the wilderness when you learn what you're supposed to learn, the real life one. And so this Sunday we're going to talk about specific things that are truths that help us when we find ourselves stuck in a place not of our doing. And then some things that we can do specifically from the Exodus story that can help that hanging in there when things get tough in the wilderness experience. We're going to wind down the whole series this Sunday. Um, this past weekend was absolutely incredible. It was one of the busiest, best weekends NCC's had in a while. We had the Women's Day of Serving on Saturday. They had a bunch of women come out, serve in the church, serve in the community, really making a difference for the cause of Christ. Sunday, we had our church-wide fellowship. We had a hand washing ceremony. We did communion. Kind of had some challenges about who do we go to first when we find ourselves in difficult situations. And then we just had fun hanging out. The team that was in charge of that, and there's too many names to mention, just pulled off another great time. You saw all the pictures. And then Monday night we had Man Cave, and some of us were here very late because just great conversation. So there was a lot going on this weekend. I thank all the people who had something to do with it. Um, our Wednesday night virtual women's Bible study is starting back up. Our Thursday morning in person women's Bible study is now weekly again since we're back into the routine. Promised Land is in full swing. Grief Share is going to start up in a week. You're going to see a rollout of some things that are coming up as far as work days, opportunities to be a part of what's going on here. So I've said this before, everything is really amping up. This past weekend was proof of that. So you're going to want to stay tuned to everything that's going on. And we'll give you more information about all of that as we get closer to it. So I need to get back to finishing my morning time before I head back to the office, since I was a little bit running behind. And I hope you have a good weekend and Sunday. How do we hang in there when we're still in the wilderness? We'll see you then. Take care.